This is interesting. It is not giving me. Let's see if I can do this up here. Hmm. All right. Testing this thing out. Y'all give me a second here. This thing out. Y'all give me a second here. All right, bet. All right, so I'm gonna start doing what I like to call work with me's. I'd say probably like once a week or something like that. Just to kind of give you guys a better idea of what it is that I'm actually doing. Um, this is like a super rough dry run. Um, just kind of testing out all of my gear to make sure everything works the way that I want it to work. Um, hopefully, everything's kind of going off without a hitch right now. I'm kind of monitoring things. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So finishing up I guess what I can consider a secret project. It's just something that won't be out for a little while. Try and keep things close to the vest. But I'm working on a very specific part of a can, um, and I've got some pre-existing stuff that I've started to move around a little bit, that I've got to clean up and get ready for a presentation on Monday. So we've got guava, we've got passion fruit, mango, and pineapple. And I'm kind of in the midst of fleshing some of this stuff out. So just bear with me while I kind of fool around a little bit. I'm probably not going to talk a whole lot when I do these just because I'm concentrating on the work, not paying attention to comments or anything like that. Um, but as I get more comfortable in doing this kind of thing, and as I start to plan a little bit further in the future and I start to work on more projects and all that other good stuff, I'll probably start to open things up a little more and communicate a little more, and maybe even bring some folks up here to talk about their process and all that other good stuff. But like I said, this is like a super rough dry run. Don't judge me, and if you do, I don't care. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm trying to balance color on the bottom of this situation here, so that nothing reads super muddy. And one of the things to pay attention to when you have text on top of a bunch of various colors, uh, is making sure that it's still legible, and having dark colors next to light colors causes contrast. It causes colors to kind of butt up against each other, and it makes it difficult to read. So what I'm gonna do is try and get rid of some of these dark navy spots unless they're necessary, in some spots to kind of clean this thing up and make it a little bit more legible. So what I'm doing now is using the direct selection tool, and grabbing some of the points from the shape that I created with the pen tool. Uh, Again, like I said, as I start to get a little bit more comfortable in this whole setup and what I'm doing, uh, part of that is going to be kind of explaining what some of these different pieces are and how they're utilized, and kind of tutorials on how to use specific tools. And hopefully by you guys watching what it is that I'm doing, you kind of start to get a little bit of interest in graphic design, package design, all that other good stuff. Really just the whole creative workflow, art workflow. Is this same program, while I'm using it for package stuff, people use for uh, all types of art and creating prints and selling and all that other good stuff too. So you're looking at wanting to start your clothing line this year, or getting into this whole NFT side of things. Uh, all available, and all kind of use the same programs, really. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of just shut up and get to work at this point. Um, and hopefully this makes sense to you guys as I continue to flesh this thing out and get a little more comfortable. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here pretty clearly. I try and monitor this thing a little bit too. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here pretty clearly. Okay. Yeah, this works. Cool. Kai. All right, cool. Hit me up. I'm here for it. Um, so yeah, honestly, this part of the job is like really boring. Um, I've already kind of gone through concepting and sketching and first drafts and revisions and all this other stuff. So y'all are kind of coming in at the end of things. Hopefully, it's not what the heck is he even doing. But the next project, I'm gonna try and take things from start to completion. Obviously, not showing everything. I can't give all of my tips and tricks away, but at least I can start to educate you guys a little bit on process, and questions that some people may have. Should make a little bit more sense. So it's kind of hard to do this without like showing stuff uh, or giving away something that I shouldn't be giving away. So, like I said, this one may be a little interesting to deal with, but we gonna get there. Trust me. All right. So I already know that the distress behind this thing is wrong. All right. So it's gonna be my second path. And I want to change the brush that I'm utilizing for this. There we go. So if you can see, uh, this controls the width of a brush. If you're not using like a stylus and pressure sensitivity, obviously. But what I'm trying to do is scale this thing down so that we still get some separation between this front object, which is like the main ingredient that we want people to pay attention to, and all these kind of like secondary and tertiary adjuncts. Adjuncts are add-ins. So like you've got a base beer that doesn't really have anything in it. It's just water, malt, hops, yeast. And then you go into adding the other things, like chocolate or coffee or pineapple or like whatever those things are. Those are what's called adjuncts. And those are the things that you typically want to highlight in your packaging, because those are the things that are going to make one can or one product stand out from another one. And it creates that uniqueness. So I'm kind of comfortable with where that is right now. I've still got to add detail on all of this stuff over here, but just taking it piece by piece. And then another thing, when working with brushes and dealing with like sharp angles, you tend to get like this whole spacing situation here. What you can do to clean that up is make sure you have that object selected, expand it so that all the pieces that are involved are taken care of, and then you can go through with your individual paths and clean that up. So this is the second one. Boom. So now that we've got that done, we can start to remove some of these points. Here's one of the caveats of like not creating specific brushes and stuff yourself, and just kind of going with products that people are selling on the internet, so on and so forth. Sometimes they don't work as cleanly. I mean, it is what it is. It's no big deal. There's a million different ways to do literally everything that I'm doing up here right now. So this is just my way of doing things. And honestly, it's just one of the ways that I do things. But I don't think there is a right and a wrong when it comes to, let me do this way. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm not dealing with paths anymore, and I can start to delete some of this stuff out. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, I don't think there's like a right or a wrong when it comes to this kind of stuff. Honestly, it's just what's your way, and what's your way in the moment, because that changes too. I've seen myself just like continue to grow when it comes to specific ways that I lay things out, or I draw things or sketch things, all of that. And, over time, you find new ways of doing things. Maybe it's a little faster, maybe it's less tedious, like something like this would be. Or you learn something from watching a tutorial or whatever the case is. So, yeah, but just always continue to evolve. That's all I can say about that. Let's go ahead, and what I'm doing now is grabbing individual anchor points. Anchor points are the part of a line or a path that you can adjust to create different movement in a shape. So like straight line or curve line. Then that curve line I move, and it has what's called a handle. Well, that handle is responsible for curves. So I can then create different shapes and so on and so forth. And I think this stuff will make a whole lot more sense when I'm starting on a project from scratch, not something that's so far along. But again, that's coming. So, but I'm glad, I can do something like this. It makes work a little more fun, especially when you're doing the whole remote thing, and you're kind of forced to work alone. It's weird just talking to a camera though. Like I gotta get used to that. I don't see how y'all do it. Yeah, especially the ones that be out at the mall, out at the store, just vlogging your life away. No judgment, cause I watch it. I eat that content up. It's just I gotta get there. I ain't there yet. Um, yeah. All right. Cool. So I feel like this is a good enough test of this whole process. I've answered my questions for what I need to do to set up for you guys. And if there's anything that's specific that you guys are interested in, like learning how to do when it comes to Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign, I used to be really good at video editing, but I haven't done that in years. So that'll be a whole new learning process all over again. I know the basics, and I know once you kind of learn a program, you don't really forget how to use it. But things do update over time, and the way that you do things changes. Where things are located changes. So I'll get comfortable with that stuff. This will get better, obviously. But I said to myself, you got to kind of stop making excuses. You got to stop having reasons why you can't, get online and do all of this stuff. And that's kind of where I am right now. Just making something. So I'll catch y'all next time. Thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Peace.